What's up, MMA fans around the world, and welcome to JM Octagon, where we talk about everything mixed martial arts. Now let's get right into it. Charles Oliveira versus Justin Gaethje. How does Charles win against Justin Gaethje? Well, this is going to be a super exciting fight, but let's break it down step by step. Now, we know that Justin Gaethje is a kicker, Charles Oliveira is a kicker, and we saw that when he fought Michael Chandler. That was an insane fight. He even dropped Michael Chandler with kicks, with leg kicks, which Justin Gaethje is really good at. So let's see, right there, he does an amazing leg kick, and on the second one, he actually drops Michael Chandler with that kick. You just saw it right there. Now, one of the things that Charles Oliveira, Gaethje cannot afford to do is to go with Oliveira on the ground. He's dangerous. His jiu-jitsu is textbook class. Now, I always say that a textbook a problem needs a textbook answer. A textbook problem needs a textbook answer, and Oliveira has got the finest textbook jiu-jitsu experience out there. In his division, he practices jiu-jitsu. His jiu-jitsu is first class, close to none. Now, Justin Gaethje has to come up with a textbook solution to solve that problem. We know that he's working with one of the finest MMA coaches in Trevor Whitman, who studies the game very well. And, Justin Gaethje can't afford to be ruthless. Otherwise, once we see Oliveira on his back, let's just call it a wrap, guys, because this has been happening all over to everyone who has faced Oliveira. Now, something that I quite don't understand is why Oliveira had to jump on this, on that falling back choke. It's a beautiful Brazilian jiu-jitsu move, but man, the way they landed on the canvas sounded like they really hurt each other. But that is what he does for a living. Look at the legs. Now, where that leg is, I would advise Justin Gaethje to chop those legs off at early stages of the fight. Kick those legs, and the more you beat the legs, the more you take away the threat of, wrapping it the same way he's now doing it on Michael Chandler here. Once you chop off some of the muscles in those legs, it gets really hard to put that figure four on you. That is one of the ways that Justin Gaethje can, help win out of this situation, out of this tough situation, because it breaks the air that goes into your diaphragm, and it's a very painful move. Considering that you also have to fight his hands, you also have to defend yourself, and figure out a way on how to get, to your feet. From this position with Oliveira, it's basically a wrap, guys. So Justin Gaethje should avoid going on the ground at all costs, even if Oliveira is on the ground like he is now with Michael Chandler. He should not go on the ground. He should keep it standing. And of course, we know Gaethje has got the power to drop Oliveira several times. Just one touch. One of the MMA coaches say the touch of death. Justin Gaethje possesses the touch of death. That if he touches Oliveira very well, he's going to go on the ground, definitely. But that is coming from Oliveira's lack of defense, kind of a lackluster defense that he's having, because we saw he was dropped by Michael Chandler. Poirier touched him a few times, and just out of that, he fights best coming forward, and sometimes coming forward cannot work against Justin Gaethje. So it's a tough one to call, but something that Justin Gaethje should also avoid is circling towards the left power hand of Oliveira. He dropped Michael Chandler twice with that left hook, and he's really good at throwing it. A straight left hook, all those, they do land clean. Now, he dropped Chandler twice. This is the first one where he dropped Chandler. Chandler gets back up. He closes the gap. He closes the distance. Push him to the fence. Block one side. Now, this is where skills now beats power. he blocks one side. Of course, he knows that Chandler is dazed, so Chandler is taking the shortest route out, which is to circle from the left. And of course, Oliveira intercepts with a clean left hook, and given the distance too, that the reach advantage that Oliveira has, look at it from this angle. Oliveira can throw that left hook from a mile away and it is still going to land clean, and that is what drops Michael Chandler in the last sequence of their fight, of their last fight. So something that Justin Gaethje cannot afford to do, even if he is hurt, even if Oliveira blocks the right hand of, he just needs to move, power through, bulldoze through that right hand and not circle to the left side, because he dropped Chandler with that left hook twice in a row. Now let's see what happened when he fought one of the finest, Justin Poirier. What happened in this fight? Now, something that happens is Oliveira, and this is what makes him so complex. He is a counter puncher too. So he was timing Poirier. When Poirier threw, he would time and then counter immediately, and his shots were landing clean on Poirier. Leg kicks are also there for him. He's a kicker. So Justin is a kicker, Oliveira is a kicker. So let's say that they cancel out each other, but we know of course that Justin's leg kicks are insane. The one lands, he's going down. So let's see what happens when he fought Poirier. He throws, misses, Poirier throws, Poirier misses, Oliveira counters immediately and hits Poirier hard. It was a clean shot that, dazed him for a bit, staggered him for a bit. And if Justin Gaethje just want to counter, Justin Gaethje is a good counter puncher, Oliveira is a good counter puncher, so whoever is going to be effective is the guy who is going to use his jabs. Jabs is the only way that is going to make a difference. Jabs and everything's go on the ground. So Justin Gaethje should not be throwing helter-skelterly like crazy. He should not be throwing those power punches, because those power punches, the more you throw them, the more they take energy out of you. And if you miss, Oliveira's got a beautiful timing. He knows how to get in if you miss. And once he gets a hold of you, close to the cage, from the center, he knows how to wrap himself really quick, and we are going to see how he did it with Justin Poirier more than once in a fight. He closes in, throws, if you miss, then he closes in, and once he closes in, he wraps around. He goes, very quickly circles towards your back, and once he gets your back, then we just call it a wrap. We don't want that to happen to Justin Gaethje. So Justin Gaethje needs to avoid those close contacts. If it means running away, do run. It's allowed, it's legal. You're defending yourself. It's one of the ways of defending yourself, unless you're overdoing it like one of the fights that Anderson once had that made Dana White shake his head. But if he goes, look at how he transitions from these positions and he makes it smooth, like look, and he's doing this to Poirier. Now, Poirier of course turns the events, but look at the armbar. This is one of the things that Justin Gaethje should avoid at all cost. Look at how he transitions. He was on the ground, Poirier had the power position, but he switched that to an armbar and then to a triangle, and painful. And then we are going to see the roll that Dustin Poirier does here, and this roll actually messes him. And look at the leg position, hand position. He's already grabbing the arm. He's already grabbing the the right thigh, and this is what triggers that roll. And then Oliveira is on him again. This is just textbook. This is the textbook. This is the textbook jiu-jitsu that I was talking about. Textbook jiu-jitsu needs a textbook answer, and that answer needs a textbook formula. And that is what Justin Gaethje needs to do. And we know that Justin Gaethje is a wrestler, we know that he's a striker, but something else that he does, which is not going to favor him in this fight, is that when he springs up, he likes to go on his knees. This is just a wrestling problem. If he does that, if he goes on his knees, it is a wrap. It is a wrap for Justin Gaethje. He needs to avoid going on the ground at all costs. Strike, move. Don't get emotional. Don't be overzealous. Just do your things and keep a distance. Don't get too close to him. Use those leg kicks and avoid getting too close to Oliveira where he can jump on your back the same way he is doing to Dustin Poirier. Avoid that. Avoid that at all cost. That is how Justin Gaethje manages to win this fight. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like this breakdown, please make sure that you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and expect to get more from me coming soon. I'll be breaking down these fights. I'll be giving you more contents as the time goes by. Remember, Justin Gaethje needs to avoid going on the ground with with Oliveira at all cost, at all the time. If you like it, please make sure you subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and let's meet in the next video. Till then.